Hi guys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm super excited because we're going to go and get the bound bow. We've put quite a lot of effort into getting there, a sneak up to 40, so we could get the sneak perk of deadly aim. We've got our magicka up to 200, though you can get away with that, I'll tell you later towards the end. Now the bound bow is probably the best bow you can get early on in the game. In fact, it's a bow that will do you through most of the game. The bound bow equips an ethereal vision of the Daedric bow and 100 ethereal Daedric arrows for 120 seconds. Now your damage is based on your archery skill and may not be equivalent to a Daedric bow at this moment in time, but however you cannot do better than this bow. Well, at this stage of the game anyway. Now before we go and get the spell tome, there are a couple of things we have to do. The first is to go and get the spell tome Fury. I always go to Farengar in Whiterun in Dragon's Reach. Costs you about 115 gold, but he always has it. So grab that. The second is to make an invisibility potion. Now if you remember when we joined the College of Winterhold and we were given the room, we were given several ingredients, and some of those ingredients included vampire dust and ice wraith teeth. So you use those two to make an invisibility potion. Now I got a bit lucky because I was attacked by a vampire in Whiterun off camera, so I actually had a spare vampire dust. But you only really need one potion. So knock a couple of them up, or just one, and we're good to go. Okay, there are several ways you can get there, depending on where you've already been. I'm starting from Whiterun. Now you can go from Riften, you can go from Windhelm, and if you've been there, Ivarstead. Now I've already been to Riften, so I'm going to travel to the stables and go from there. Now I've placed a little marker here, you can see where it is, just in the crook of a river. This is a long and tough journey. This is why I'm saying possibly Windhelm is the easier route. Now unless you're super confident in the strength of your build, I really would strongly recommend you come with a follower. Even if you don't normally play with one, I would suggest you actually bring one just for this journey. You can hire one if you've done the whole Thane of Whiterun thing, then you can bring Lydia with you. The reason is, this is quite a tough journey. You're going to come across quite a few enemies. In fact, I wouldn't normally show this part of the journey, it's going to be cut down, but I just want to show you what you're going to go through on the way. Oh, as usual, don't forget to pick up all the ingredients you can on the way. Don't forget now you've got a place to store them at the College of Winterhold. Anyway, very quickly outside Riften, you're going to come across a bear. Now, if you're a Breton, keep on popping your familiar and use your archery. This is a great way to level up skills, and in my case it's going to be archery and conjuration. So anyway, deal with him and you carry on. Pretty much the game will start throwing the kitchen sink at you. You'll be dealing with bears and wolves at the same time. So as usual, deal with those pesky little varmints and carry on. Oh, and I think I should mention you should probably quick save often on this journey. And if they're not throwing wolves and bears at you, they'll throw skeevers at you. This little bastard gave me rock joint. Anyway, deal with him and move on. I may have mentioned you might see a few bears on the way, and I think that's a bit of an understatement. As you can see, my archery is increasing, my conjuration's increasing, so even though it's a bit of a pain in the hole, it really is beneficial in the long run. Anyway, deal with him and move on. Anyway, I think I've made my point. I think I got attacked 9 times on the way. And if you decide to go to Iverstead after this, which I think you should, you'll be attacked by trolls and saber-toothed tigers as well. So, like I said, bring a follower and quick save often. Now make sure you approach Fort a Mile in sneak mode. It's occupied by mages that are well above our pay grade. They've killed all the Stormcloak guards inside. We can't afford to tangle with them. So rather than use the main gate, we're going to use a breach on the wall. So make your way to the east side of the fort. Obviously as stealthy as possible. Now when you've got the waterfall to your back, you're in the right place. Just to the left of the tower as you're looking at it, sorry, the right of the tower as you're looking at it, there's a breach in the wall here. You can see on the map. You do not want to go through the main gates, you won't make it. Make sure you've got your weapons hotkeyed. I've hotkeyed the potion of invisibility. Nom nom. Okay, sneak up to the wall. Once you're here, run to the gate at the door in front of you. Don't sprint, just run. And as soon as you get there, crouch down. Down, that's it. Okay. Make sure everything's ready. Okay. I should have done it before I went in. Okay, in we go. So as we've got no chance of winning this fight, the idea is to get them to fight, kill and weaken each other. So, set up the Fury. Hit this first mage with a spell. Quickly take invisibility potion and then run round the corner here and let them slog it out. Be a little bit patient, wait till things are quieting down again. If you go up too early, you'll be spotted and or possibly spotted and attacked. So you'll hear when the fight's over, and as I said before, just hang on a little bit. Keep sneaking back up there. Have a little look. Okay, wait till this mage is back in position, and then do a sneak attack. Bosh! There you go. There's a few odd bits and bobs in here worth grabbing. A few soul gems. Iron daggers, we always grab those. We can sell all this stuff. Got fantastic loot. Draft extra magicka, that's always handy. Scroll of blizzards. Soul gem. Now the actual spell tome itself is in this bucket or under this bucket in the corner beside the cupboard. So grab that and we're done. That's it, we have it. Now all we've got to do is get out of here. So we are going to sprint out of here. I always hotkey a potion of, a couple of potions of stamina if I have them. Chances are you won't actually need it. I always do it just in case because I have been caught out a couple of times. So come out. And sneak, stand up, and then leg it. Get out of here, and we run back down to the river. In this case, this is where I left Lydia, down here. Okay, I didn't need to use my stamina potion, which is good. Like I say, chances are you won't need to, but have a hotkey just in case. And once you get here, grab your follower, and if you can, get the hell out of there. I always fast travel somewhere like Dragon's Reach, somewhere that's very, very safe. Well, that's it. You're now the proud owner of a nice shiny new bound bow. It's been a lot of planning and preparation to get it. The actual process of grabbing the bow itself is very quick if the planning's done right. You can believe me, it's a real handful if you don't do it right. So, okay, let's have a look at exactly what we have here. Now, the bound bow is an adept level conjuration spell that can be bought in the game. However, a conjuration skill of 50 or higher is required before this spell zone can become available for purchase. And we obviously don't want to wait for that. The bow has a magicka cost of 206, hence we've been putting all our levelling into magicka. If you've not got 206, you can use enchanted items such as a novice hood you found in Helgen's Keep, which gives you an additional 30 points. Now you can hotkey the hood so you can cast a bow and then go back to your regular armour once it's been cast. Now the bow itself, it's an ethereal version of the Daedric bow and gives you 100 ethereal Daedric arrows for 120 seconds. But this damage is based on archery skills and perks. Now the bound bow has a base damage of 18, which increases to 24 after the perk Mystic Binding is applied. The bound arrows themselves have damage rating of 24, equal to the Daedric counterparts. Now, the bow is affected by all archery perks. The bow really becomes super effective once you have the following perks. Obviously, Overdraw, but also Power Shot at level 50, where arrows stagger all but the largest opponents 50% of the time. Quick Shot at level 70, that means you can draw the bow 30% faster. The bound bow is very quick anyway to draw, and with this perk it becomes Skyrim's equivalent of a machine gun. Now some perks were recommended to get as soon as possible are Mystic Binding, as mentioned before, Conjuration level 20, that's where your bound weapons do more damage. Soul Stealer, that means you have to have a Conjuration level of 30 I believe. Bound weapons cast soul traps on targets. Now that I will show you another video why that can be so handy. Quiet casting, now this is essential in my opinion. You need illusion level of 50. That means all spells cast from any school of magic are silenced to others. Particularly good for the bound bow if you're doing a stealthy build. The sneak perk Deadly Aim, which I think we already have, or if we don't we should. A few other bits and bobs. Potions and poisons can be applied to the weapon. Like all spells, the bound bow isn't an item, so in quests where you don't have access to your items, or likewise if you're in jail, a bound bow can't be taken away, so you've always got access to a weapon. Now with patch 1.9, the bound bow with Mystic Binding gives you more XP per hit than any other bow in the game. Like any other bound weaponry, bound sword and bound battle axe, the bound bow can't be blown out of your hands by the disarmed dragon shout, which is particularly good in barrows when the druggers tend to use it. Druggers? I mean droggers. Sadly, it's not all good news. There are some disadvantages, such as summoning the bound bow makes a sound, and this can be avoided with the aforementioned quiet casting perk in the illusion skill tree. It can't be used while riding a horse. It cannot be upgraded through smithing. A Daedric bow crafted exquisite or greater deals more damage than a bound bow. The bow can't be enchanted. The only enchantments that can be applied to it are those given by the perk Oblivion Binding. It takes a few seconds to fully equip. Drawing a regular bow does not end invisibility. Now this won't apply to everybody obviously, but conjuring the bound bow will. It has to be recast every 2 minutes. Magicka will have to be regenerated by then, but several seconds wait before the bow to spawn can be a nuisance. It's wise in my opinion to have a few Magicka potions ready in case your Magicka hasn't recharged in time. But as you can see, the advantages of this bow far outweigh the disadvantages, making this bow an essential weapon in my opinion for any build, and will take you well on into the game. So there you have it, the bound bow. Anyway, the next top tip video will have us getting the Storm, Flame and Frost Atronach stuffs, which in my opinion are as essential as a bound bow to any player. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, leave a comment and press that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Laters.